Well, hello and good Wednesday, everyone, and it is our midweek chat time. So welcome today. If you were there on Sunday, I just want to mention a little bit about what happened that day. If you're not aware, we had a little bit of technical difficulty and our service sort of stopped right in the middle. It wasn't an intentional cliffhanger, though some of you were saying you kind of actually liked that cliffhanger thing, and maybe it was sort of like this tune in next time, right? Same bat time, same bat channel. I just dated myself, and I'm not even that old for that one. So if you didn't understand that, go ask somebody that's a little bit older than you. But it wasn't an intentional time, but it is all up and it's ready now. And I just want to say thank you for everybody that sort of stuck with us on that. And a big shout out to Pastor Calvin that sort of immediately jumped up and ran to the church to try and fix it and to get everything up. For sure that let everybody know. I'm sure that we were getting so many calls and texts. So it wasn't on your side. It was definitely on ours. But I still want to thank you all for being a part of our Sunday mornings. It's been a great time lately. Really been enjoying the series that Pastor Dave has been working on called Portraits of the First Followers. And I'm actually excited. This week I get to sort of take my own spin on it. So I'm preaching this week, but still following in Pastor Dave's footsteps with the same portrait. Now, speaking of Pastor Dave, we actually have a really special segment today that is going to take you on location to something really cool that Pastor Dave and his wife Christine was able to do this week. So watch this with me.
Well, here I am at the Mary Spears Center in Sydney and about ready to get my shot. So let's see how this goes. Okay, here we go.
Ready?
Yep.
Nice big deep breath.
Yep.
Roll it out, look at your toes. There you go.
That's it?
That's it.
It's over?
It's over.
Okay, thank you.
Ooh, piece of cake, right?
Blessed are the health workers. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, that was easy. So
Yay!
we both have our cards. And we encourage everybody to get the vaccine, and so that as soon as possible we can all get back to church.
Yes.
And what do you say about going out to the pier for some fish and chips?
Sounds good.
All right. Bye.
Thanks, Pastor Dave and Christine, for sharing that with us today. And boy, I can't wait for it myself. I keep hearing about all my buddies down in the States that have already received their vaccines, and I am sort of chomping at the bit here to get my own. So hopefully sometime in the near future, because we know that these are the right steps to take us into a time where hopefully we can finally be together and start living life the way that we were used to and like to, right? Hopefully it's the next step that's on there. So I'm really hoping that maybe by sometime late summer, maybe early fall, that things really start to ramp back up. But in that time, I've really sort of been thinking about this season that we're in. Though it's been over a year, I wonder if you can call it a season. You know, everything in the world is really just a season, right? Nothing here is permanent. Nothing here is final. Nothing's final until God finally says it is, right? At the very end. And we're waiting for that day. But I went back and trying to think about times where even in the Bible and the scriptures, we find these moments where people find themselves in a season, right? In a season that's just horrible, or they don't see an end to it, or they don't see a way out, and it just brings them down. And you can hear it, you can see it in the scriptures, you can feel their anguish at times. And trust me, if you go back, especially go back and read the Old Testament, there were many times where the Israelites had these moments where they were looking up and saying, where is God? Where is God in this? Because we can't wait for this period to be over with. We can't wait for this time to be done and for God to finally swoop in and save us all so that we can have, the lives the way we want them again, right? Sounds a little familiar, doesn't it? I suppose, in the grand scheme of things, the actual disaster may change its face here and there, but how we react to it pretty much stays the same. And it's fun for me to look back and to see, the way we react to these times is not unique. I was thinking about the Psalms today, and in them, David has one where he's having a season like this as well. And it reads like this. O Lord, how long will you forget me? Forever? How long will you look the other way? How long must I struggle with anguish in my soul, with sorrow in my heart every day? How long will my enemy have the upper hand? Turn and answer me, O Lord my God, Restore the sparkle to my eyes, or I will die. Don't let my enemies gloat, saying, we have defeated him. Don't let them rejoice at my downfall. But I trust in your unfailing love. I will rejoice because you have rescued me. I will sing to the Lord because he is good to me. That was Psalm 13. That's a psalm from David in one of his times and moments where things just were horrible and rough. And yet, in the midst of that, I loved watching the sort of shift and the change. And we do this as ourselves, even as Christians, where we have these moments where we feel overwhelmed by what's happening around us. We feel overwhelmed by the hopelessness of the situation. We wonder, God, how long until you step in? In this season, how long, Lord, will we continue to have to be separated from our loved ones and wearing these masks and doing all of these things, being separated and not living the life that we wish we were? How long, God, until you want to step in here? And yet at the very end, David does this thing where he finally sort of takes a step back. He takes a step back out of his wallowing and he remembers what God has done. And he remembers that God has been faithful from the beginning all the way to the end. And so he rests in that fact. And today I want you, no matter where you're at, even if you're feeling good about where the situation is going, I mean, it does look like we're starting to trend in the right direction. We're starting to go in that right way. I want to encourage you today that if you are having a hard time, remember what God has done for us in the past. Remember what he has done for us. Kind of like what Pastor Dave was talking about this last week. Being a witness doesn't mean necessarily having to go out and tell everybody, but just living a life that exudes a knowledge of something that has happened inside of us, something that's happened to us, something grand and glorious that we have been witnesses to, and living out that life. So today, let me give you hope. There's always an end in sight. There's always something new coming up. God has never left us, nor has he forsaken us, and he is going to move us forward into this next season. So take that encouragement today and may that guide how we live and we walk and we interact with the world around us, because our God has never left us. Our resurrected Savior still lives and we still wait for him. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday and your week. We can't wait to see you on Sunday. It's going to be another great day. I hope you can join us there. But until then, and until we see each other, have a great rest of your week.